Five-star Florida State commitment KJ Bolden took an unofficial visit to Auburn on Monday. So, of course, the rumors are swirling. Bolden is ranked the number 7 overall recruit and the number 1 safety in the 2024 class. Now, he arrived on the plains Monday afternoon and stayed until the late evening. So in this video, we're going to find out if the Noles have anything to worry about and what Hugh Freeze and Auburn are doing that has KJ Bolden taking a last look at the Tigers. All right, before we get into it, though, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We got a lot of major developments to cover. We want you to be a part of it, so hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Jeffrey Lee from Auburn live. Now, Jeff, this is kind of funny because on Sunday, you and I talked about more Auburn 5-star flips after the Cam Coleman flip, but we didn't even mention KJ Bolden. So then on Monday, he shows up at Auburn. What's the latest here after a major development on Monday?
Whew. A lot of buzz come out of Auburn. That was a very big visit for Auburn, for KJ Bolden. You know, Auburn never let go of this guy. They never quit on this guy, and a lot of guys around Auburn think that Auburn was very close to getting him the first time. I know I certainly heard a lot of buzz leading up to that first announcement. The difference now, Josh, and before is I think the class that Auburn has put together since then. You know, back then they had just gotten a commitment from Perry Thompson. He was kind of the featured guy of that class, and maybe DeMarcus Riddick. But now they've got both of those guys. They've got Joe Phillips. They've got Jamonte Waller. They just added Cam Coleman, and I really think that's opened KJ's eyes. Like, oh, well, it's not just one or two guys. This class can end up being really, really good. And so I think with his interest level in Auburn before, and now some of these recruits jumping on board, certainly has opened his eyes with renewed interest in Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn made a run, like you said, right before that decision got made. Most people thought it was going to be FSU or Georgia. Then you start hearing all about Auburn about 7 days out. And now here we are about 10, 15 days out from the early signing period. And Auburn is double backing on KJ Bolden. No surprise here. But how would you classify, based on what you're hearing, how would you classify KJ Bolden's commitment to FSU right now?
I think shaky. Shaky is probably a good word. I'm not ready to, predict him to a flip to Auburn, but there's, Hugh Freeze has still got his in-home visit. But I would say shaky at best right now. And I think Florida State's pretty concerned too. I think the interest from Bolden in Auburn is legit. I think Auburn is absolutely a serious threat to Florida State. So I think it's something that's probably still a little bit undecided.
All right, so the question now becomes, do you think he makes it back to Auburn before that December 20 early signing day date?
That's the hope, and maybe even the plan if it's not tentative. I haven't heard a date, but he lives a little more than 2 hours away from Auburn, so it's something he could easily do. And that's what he did Monday. He just drove up for a half day for the afternoon and the evening and headed back. So I think that's a very likely at this point to see him in the next 2 weeks come back.
Right. All right. So we know FSU is going to try to combat this. They have in-home visits remaining, and they also have an official visit. So from an Auburn fan perspective, how concerned are you about KJ Bolden's December 15th official visit to FSU, which is going to be about 72 hours before early signing day?
Yeah, that's not a good look for Auburn. It's not. Anytime you get a commitment visiting the school that they're committed to 72 hours before early signing day or signing day here, it's never a good thing for the team trying to flip him. KJ took his official visit to Auburn back in the summer, and Hugh Freeze still has his in-home visit. But I think Hugh's going to do that this week. I think what's today? Tuesday. I think he'll be in middle of the week or Thursday. So Auburn's putting all their eggs in the early in this recruitment, because of the way I see Auburn and Florida State's battle for KJ Bolden. It started pretty much Sunday, and it's going to end on signing day. So they're getting his visit in. Hugh Freeze is going in for an in-home visit, and then you hope to get him back in the next 2 weeks, because Mike Norvell is going to go in for an in-home visit, and then he's going to be at Florida State that weekend before early signing day. So there's still a lot of pages to turn before this story ends.
Yeah, and we're going to keep covering it. I wish we would have covered it on Sunday. We were talking all these 5-star flips. Don't even mention KJ Bolden. How could we? But here we are. And KJ Bolden back on the radar for Auburn. Jeffrey Lee of Auburn Live, thank you for dropping by the Inside Scoop and talking about this recent development.
Absolutely, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.